But this is my
Right.
this is my adult. You want to be an adult? You don't know what it's like to be an adult. I'm an adult. I know how it's like to be an adult.
Right.
You want to be an adult so bad until it's time to be an adult, and then now you're learning. You're learning in history, and I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. You don't understand what I'm telling you, because when you get to my age, you're gonna understand. The same thing happened when you were 12. I told you things when you were 12. You didn't understand it. I told you to your face. Give it time. You will understand. Years later, you hit me with, now I see why Red did this. I'm sorry, Red. It's gonna happen again. It doesn't matter how old you get. It's going to happen again. Even my parents do this. They do this. I told you over and over. You've been talking to me like this since the summertime. We made an entire private video over an hour or two long over this shit. That's why I told you earlier through text. I knew you're gonna get like this. I was waiting. I know. I already know what you're gonna do before you do it. I told you in that video 6-7 months ago when you came back in the server because you went through a whole break because you were going through things in your life. Then we had a whole 2-hour discussion on video about this stuff. I already knew this was gonna happen. I know when people are hiding things from me. Because people been hiding things from me since elementary school with pigs and clothes. You left me for that bitch because it was convenient for you. When it wasn't convenient for you no more and your life was falling apart, you saw the error in your ways. You sucked up your pride and you came back and apologized. Before you leave a girl, you already plan your next move to get to the other girl or to get to the other male friend. That's not loyalty. That's strategy. That's what Weezy's doing. Weezy right now is probably in some other friend group. You think he was in that friend group when he was hanging out with us? No, he wasn't. He wasn't. I didn't fuck with you because you act like me. I saw something in you that I saw in myself, but in a different way. Kind of like how there's certain foods that look a certain way. They don't always look the same, but they taste. It's sort of like that. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to control you. The problem is I tell you things and I talk to you about things and I give you rules and this, that, and the third. And for whatever reason, maybe ADHD or things like that, you break the rules. And after a certain time, drama comes out. Drama starts because it's rooted in something as small as a little rule you broke. And then we got to go through months, days, months, years fixing the issue. That's why I warn you all the time. Because if I don't do that, you're going to think it's okay to do it. And then it's going to turn into a big ass issue we both got to fucking deal with instead of worrying about our lives. I've been telling you this shit for years, but you don't want to listen. You don't want to agree. And then it's enough to tell me this shit to my face. I don't give a fuck. What? I don't know if you want to do that. You literally put you in danger and you literally had stress.
I'm talking about you.
No, I'm saying that we were talking about those people, but in the middle of those people, you talked to me a certain way when you did something wrong in those situations. My job was to criticize your actions in those situations. In the middle of me commentating and criticizing you in those situations, you had the nerve to talk to me a certain way.
You took it as disrespect because you didn't like my tone. And honestly, this conversation ain't really going nowhere. It's not really going nowhere because it's not really going nowhere because we're just gonna agree to disagree. So this is the last thing I'm gonna say, and to be honest, I might just dip after this because respectfully, I got no problems with you.
At the end of the day, I got
no problems with you.
Facts don't care about your feelings. Facts
right,
don't care
what I have to say to that respectfully,
care about your feelings.
What I have to say to that respectfully is that if you don't like my tone, then it's really all well.
The way you talk to someone matters. The way you talk matters.
4 months later,
I wanted to message you that because my therapist and me are doing, like I told you, we're doing this thing where it's like I'm contacting people who I've either fallen out with or I've either wronged or they've wronged me or whatever, and I just say how I feel, whether it's I forgive you or I'm sorry for what I did or my part that in whatever happened or something like that. Like I've been doing that with a lot of people recently. Like, I've just been going from person to person that I've had, like, a fallout with or a problem with and just talking it out with them. And I'm not gonna lie, it's working. Like, most of the time, either I end up cool with them or we end up just being friends again and saying, fuck it. Or, like, I swear to God, I'm not trolling. Like, it's like, I don't know what it is. It's just working. Like,
I've been trying to tell you that shit for months, bro. That's why I'm trying to tell you. Just talk to people.
I know. I don't know why I didn't try this before, bro. That's so dumb. Like,
you gotta listen, bro. Cause I've been telling you this for years, my nigga. I've been trying to tell you this type of shit for years. If like niggas like Weezy, if like niggas like Weezy, for example, just talk to me. Whether
niggas should talk to people,
whether reach an agreement or not, have a respectful convo, and then decide what you want to do. But that little convo we had in February, that wasn't it. Like that convo, I understand we were trying to be civilized, but it was like that little convo we had on video, like it was doomed to fail. I already know because of how it started. Like
you know what? It's like I feel, I'm not gonna say I have came a long way from how I was before when I was a kid when we first met. But you know what? It's like I've gotten to a point where, like, I look at it like this: I'm about to be grown, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm about to be 18 in a year. I'm turning 17 next month, and I turn 18 in a year. Like I'm about to be a senior in high school, and I'm about to graduate. Like, I don't have time to be fucking drowned in resentment and anger. I don't have time for that shit, bro. I'm about to be a grown ass man. I'm not trying to fucking
Yeah, I'm
hate
about to be
and
grown
hit
ass man in
people and be
you.
angry with people. Like I'm just trying to live my life in peace and in harmony. Like
Yeah.
if I could try to forgive and be cool with as many people as I can, like you never know like what's gonna happen. Like what if somebody what if that person like wants to kill themselves one day and they hear from you in one day and then you make their life better. Like you know what I'm saying? You gotta think about it like that. I don't ever wanna like I don't ever want somebody to ever kill themselves like that. And that's why even like that's the thing, like even when like I don't know, like even when we were not talking, like I still would check on you occasionally.
I know. Like literally,
Like
I predicted this day would come. I just didn't know when, but I already knew because this happened before. You cut me off in 2021, then you apologized in the beginning of 2022. I already knew this was gonna happen. It's just a
but
matter of
well, it's like I'm sorry for I guess the tone of how I said things. Because that's really what it is for real. It's not even that. It's not what I'm saying. It's how I'm saying it. Like I gave you the example. I could say to you like, "Go wash the dishes," and if you could go wash the dishes, that'd be cool or something like that. You would do it because that sounds normal. But if I'll be like, "Get the fuck up and wash the dishes, you pussy," that shit's filthy. Like you gonna be like, "Bitch, who the fuck is
well, like,
you?"
that's like part of it. That's like part of it, but like, let's say you tell like your parents to watch, like, can you wash the dishes, please? They're gonna still look at you like, didn't I make the food? How about you wash the dishes type shit? They might see it like that. They won't feel like completely disrespected because that's what I'm trying to get at with you. It's not just how you say things. That's like what half of it. It's not just how you say certain things. It's more like I feel like if you looked at me a certain way, right, the way that I expected to be looked at, you wouldn't have said it that way. Because I don't imagine an employee talking to their boss a certain way. Why? Because the employee, they look at their boss a certain way. So they instinctually know how to speak to them. They're not going to tell their boss to check on the money in the cashier register, whatever it's called. Like they're not going to do that. It's sort of like that. I think that the reason you might talk to certain people, because I don't remember you talking to me this way 3 years ago or 2 years ago. You let me know on that call with Kai months ago. It's something you picked up as you got older. What I
I was
think
gonna say that. Yeah, I was gonna say
yeah,
that.
like literally,
It's
what
like
I it
yeah,
is more like it's sort of like like it's a little bit of arrogance. It's kind of like when people ask you who you think you are type shit. Because
it's not.
I think
It's. I
that
would
way
agree with
because you're
that.
trying to like
I would agree with that. Actually, it's that, but it's also other things. Like yes, it's pride. It's pride. I'm gonna
mhm,
be real. It's pride, and it's also that my whole life I went being talked to like how you would talk to me. People always talk to me like that, whether it was my family, some of my friends, and I always just sat in there and took it. So as I got older, I got tired of that shit, and I'm like, ain't nobody gonna talk to me like that no more. I don't give
mhm.
a fuck who it is. So I just naturally, when people talk to me that way, I like it's like you said, it's who are you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who are you to talk to me like that? Like, it's
Yeah.
even like not it's not even just you. I do that too. I do that to, like to people who talk to me that way, not just you, but anybody. Like,
Now, like,
if
I'm gonna lie.
granted, like based on what you told me about your family and one, and look, since we're on stream and all that, I'm not going to tell people about you, but like
yeah,
I
yeah, I
know
get what you're saying. Yeah,
there's a
Mhm.
lot of times you don't deserve that treatment, from those people, and I don't even completely know what you went through in the past. I was
like
just trying to let you know months ago I'm not those people. Like I don't just randomly do that. I usually have a reason. Maybe I told you the reason a lot, or maybe you have to ask why I did it, like in a meaningful, civilized convo or things like that. But maybe there's also minor times where your peoples had the right to talk to you that way. Maybe you did do something wrong, but I feel like most of the time you didn't do shit. They was on your dick for no fucking reason, and it made you this way. But
you know what it is too. It how do I say? It's like when people talk to me that way, I kind of see it as like it's like you're degrading me, kind of. When people talk to me that way, not even just you, everybody that tries to talk to me that way.
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
I'm
Somebody that
gonna
trusts
give
you.
you an example, right? I'm gonna give you an example. The other day, I'm in this like program thing. It's like for therapy and stuff, right? And this nigga was talking to me, this teacher, I don't fuck with him. It's my last day there today too. But he said to me, because I had like a movie on one screen, on the side screen, and the other screen I was doing my work. Now the other one teacher said I could do it, but then he's trying to say I couldn't. So then he came at me crazy, and then it was a problem. Now, fast forward to like a couple, I think it was last week, I was like not that Monday, so it was a Monday, he let me do that. I was coloring this thing, and I was for like an assignment, and then I was watching this movie while I was doing it, right? So then fast forward, today was a Thursday, I was doing the same thing. He came in the next period, he asked me what I was going to do, and I said, I don't know, I got to check my classroom. He saw that my movie was on, he's like, all right, so turn off the movie. And the way he said it was just condescending. Like, but, right? Keep in mind, that morning that I came in, he was accusing me of lying about something I didn't lie about. So I let it slide that time. So, but he saw the movie, and as he's saying that to me, I was already getting off the movie to go to my classroom. He saw that and still felt the need to say it. But I let it slide, right? I said, all right, you see I'm getting off it. All right, cool. So I go in my classroom and I'm looking, and he's like, oh, and you lied to the other teacher, Janet. You lied to Janet yesterday too. So at that point, I'm like, what did I lie about? I'm like, since I lied, what did I lie about? He was like, you lied and said you didn't have work. I'm like, I didn't lie. I started to raise my voice at the nigga, but I stopped myself. Mid raising my voice, I calmed myself down, took a deep breath. And I'm like, I didn't lie. I just didn't see it. He was like, no, you was lying and you know what you was doing. And he started coming at me crazy, like how you used to do, Red, right? And then at that point, I'm like, ain't nobody was fucking lying. I have no reason to lie. And I'm starting to get mad and heated. So I get up and I walk away because I'm not trying to curse the nigga out. So the other teacher that was talking to me, the other teacher that said that he said I was lying to, she followed me to talk to me. And I say to her like mad loud because I'm starting to get mad and I curse and everything. I'm like, what the fuck would I have to lie about, bro? Like, what would be my reason? I'd be hurting myself more if I lied to you. So what reason would I have to lie? Like, that shit makes no sense. He was like, you have math work. He screamed that out from where he was. And I'm like, you know I don't have to do it, you fucking dumbass. Like, and I'm like, who the fuck do you think you are to talk to me that way? I'm like, you could talk to the rest of these little niggas like that, but you ain't gonna talk to me like that because you could get punched in your motherfucking mouth. Oh God, I said that. And he was like, yeah, okay. I'm like, bitch, shut up. And the therapist came outside and she was like, what's going on? I'm like, this motherfucker need to keep his mouth shut or he's gonna get punched. And she was like, bro, just come inside in my room and calm down. I'm like, fuck you think you are, nigga? And she closed the door and we was talking. But my point with that story is it's not just you.
Mm-hmm.
With that story, you see what I mean? The nigga came at me a certain way, like condescending, like he was degrading me, like oh, like I know better than you, or like I'm above you, or some shit like that. Like who are you, bro? You're a teacher. You're nothing to me. You are supervising me for like a couple hours and then I don't have to see you. You are nobody to me. You're not my father. You're not my parent. You're not my guardian. You are nobody to me. Right? Mm-hmm. So, but even then, my parents too, you know, like they can't do that shit with me either.
Yeah.
I had the same reaction. You know, I almost fought my dad. I have no problem saying that on stream. But I almost fought my dad and that's why. So like it's not even sorry, I'm not trying to yell. Like I'm not yelling at you. I'm speaking loud because like I'm passionate, but like what I'm trying to say, What I'm trying to say is that it's not just you that's a thing with it. It's everybody. It's a collective.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could see it if it was just you that I had that problem with. I promise you, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to take it as like it's just a you thing, because I promise you, it's not just a you thing. I don't
No,
like being
mine
talked to
looked
like
like it
that in
wasn't just
general.
me because, like, for months before you cut me off, for months, and it was highlighted in the diss track. For months, you've been telling me you've been cutting your old friends off one by one. So I was just using my brain at the time, like, what if I'm next one day? Like, I already knew it was gonna happen. Like, it was obvious because
But I
I
cut
was
some of
your
my.
age at one point. Like,
Mhm.
I was your age at one point. So if you are turning over a new leaf, you're on some new shit, I already know how it's gonna end. Maybe I was like that at your age. That's what I'm
Probably
trying to
would.
tell you. You
You know, I
know,
think.
you
You know,
might
I
have.
think it is. You know what I think it is too. It's like you said, you were my age, but I also like we're really a lot. I don't know if you see it, but like we're a lot alike, nigga.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, definitely.
but
Yeah.
I don't mean it as in like we're equal or nothing like that. Like, but I mean it in the sense of we're very similar in how we move. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but me and you pretty much have the same reaction for everything. Or same opinion, similar opinions to like different situations, or a
Yeah, but the
similar
thing is,
reaction to things. So what I'm saying is like I feel like most of our like arguments or disagreements were because both of us are too prideful sometimes, and I feel like it kind of overrides the logic that we should be using. At least sometimes. I'm not saying that that's all the time, but I'm saying that sometimes when we did get into arguments, it was because both of us were too prideful and too stubborn to see past it.
well,
You know what I'm saying?
well, the thing is too, like, while we are similar, right? Notice how, like,
Excuse me.
I often not don't tell you how I handle people in real life. When people come at me, when adults, like when I was your age, if my
Mm.
teacher came at me that way, and like basically how you see me act here on the internet or on this server and on my channel, I don't most of the time I'm like the complete opposite in real life. If I'm in class, literally the last time I had to scream at my teacher was like first grade. I haven't had to do that ever since, whether or not the teacher was belittling me or not. Why? Because I knew better. And if there was a problem, right? If there was a problem, I had my own covert ways of handling it. I didn't have to have a screaming match. Now, if I had to scream at anybody, it was
Mm.
my fellow students. It was
Yeah.
maybe someone in my grade or someone who was a freshman when I was a sophomore or
Mhm.
something like that. The last time I argued with someone twice my age, like in public especially, nigga, I was in first grade.
Now you
That's
say, now
how
you
long
say,
it's been.
now you say kids your age. Now I could give you another example with that. Literally happened this past weekend. So I just got a new mic, which is how I'm able to talk on Xbox. Because I don't know if you remember, but for the longest I didn't have a mic on Xbox, but now I have one. So I was playing with my man's and I got the new Elden Ring. I don't know if you ever played Elden Ring, but I got the new one that just came out, and I game share with. So we was playing, and I was streaming. We was playing till like 1 a.m. While we're playing, my brother joined. Whatever, it's cool. So then this other kid joins that's friends with, right? And we was all talking, we was chatting. The nigga turns around and says to me, "Yo, shut the fuck up," or some shit like that. I don't remember why, but he said that to me. And I'm like, "Nigga, who the fuck is you? I don't even know you. Watch your fucking mouth, bitch," or some shit like that. And he was like, "No, or what, nigga, this, that, and the third." He was just fucking crazy. I'm like, "Nigga, where do you live at?" He was like, I'm not gonna say where he lives, but it's by my house, and it's not far, and I've been there." And I'm like, and he was like, "Oh well, I'm like, nigga, so you live close to me, so if you got a problem, you could pull up and fight me, or shut the fuck up and leave my party." And he was like, he was like, "All right, what's your address?" put my address. I sent him I actually I didn't send it to him. I said my address on the party. I said pull up. And he was like, "Fuck, shut the fuck up. You're a bitch." I'm like, right. I'm like, nigga, get the fuck out my party, you pussy ass nigga. You not about shit. I'm like, same ass nigga. You not about to talk to me like that on my motherfucking party. And then I fucking kicked him out the party. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not even just you. Like, it's everybody.
Yeah, I know.
I don't like people do that.
And yeah, but the thing is, I knew that for a while now. That doesn't really make it any better to me. Like, obviously, I know I'm not the only one. Like, there's no way I'm the only one. After everything I did for you and you did for me, there's no way I'm the only one.
What I will say, however, because I wasn't really finished, but my bad. I should have said that. But what I will say is that since then, or since our argument, I've gotten better with it. Where it takes longer for me to get to that point, depending on who it is. Or depending on what's said or who it is. So, for an example, if you said to me, Dante, you broke a rule on my server, so I'm gonna have to warn you, you can't do that. Right? You said it just like that. No tone in your voice, no attitude, no screaming, no yell, nothing, right? Perfectly, just like that. I would have just took my L. At least now, I would have just taken my L and kept it pushing. But if you were to be like, Dante, you fucking bitch, you broke another fucking rule on my server, what the fuck is wrong with you? Or if you said that to me, yeah, you probably would get cursed out. But that's it really, for real, Red, it depends on it's how you say things. Because one thing that you don't really, and I don't, maybe you do understand it and you just don't show it, but at least from my knowledge, I don't think you really understand. Sometimes it's not like, it's how you talk to people that it could come off like you're being an asshole. And I'm not gonna say I'm perfect at that, because trust me, I know I do it too. I've done it to you before without meaning to. But you are also guilty of that sometimes. So when you say things, you could be thinking in your head, you saying it like, if you said, yo, Dante, you broke a rule in the server. Just if you do it again, I'm gonna have to warn you, right? You could be thinking you said it like that. But in reality, it comes off like this. And I'm gonna say it just like how you would say it. Dante, you just broke another fucking rule in my server. If you do it again, I'm fucking warning you. You see how it sounds in your head versus how it comes out?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. Like, when you say things, sometimes I don't think you realize how you be talking to niggas, bro. It's not, and I'm not laughing, it's kind of funny. But it's also, I'm laughing because I'm not, because I don't think you're doing it on purpose. I promise you, I don't think you're doing it on purpose. You're not a bad. Wait, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I mean, look, right. I'm gonna be real. So here's the thing about that, but with me, right? The thing you just said, like, I've been dealing with that my whole life too, just not nearly as bad as you. Like, I don't like the way certain people talk to me as well, but I don't handle it the way you do, and like, the way you handle it, it's questionable. That's what I'm saying. And like, the main thing is, like, you gotta understand, when I talk to you a certain way, I'm fully consciously doing it. Like, I know what I'm doing. I'm not unaware. When I speak to you a certain way, whether it makes you feel a certain way or not, I meant it. Like, I actually meant that shit. And it's not by accident. I spent my life learning how to talk to people in a nice, respectful way. It's what I was trying to instill upon you. I know how to talk to people very nice.
For the most part, at least now, I'm not saying before. Listen, I will fully admit, I was a dickhead before. When I, like, for the most part, I could be a dickhead at times. I'm not denying that. But I mean, at least now, like, I feel like I could talk, like how I'm talking to you now. I could do this. I do this more often. like an example I could give you is, you know how I told you me and Kai are on somewhat good terms now?
Yep.
So when we originally talked, like we had like it wasn't a screaming match or nobody was accusing nobody of nothing. It was a genuine, like how me and you are having, it was a genuine conversation. And
Yep.
he was like, and I swear to God, no trolling, nothing. He said to me like, "Yo, I can't even believe that like this is you. Like this got to be like a prank or some shit." I'm like, "Nah, bro. I mean, this is me." And I'm like, I started laughing. He was like, "No, it's crazy. Like you actually changed for real. Like you're not like you're not tripping balls right now." I'm like, "Yeah. I mean,
So
like,
the thing with, like,
but wait, I'm not finished. Wait,
okay.
but like there's more. So then it was like maybe 2 days later. The only reason that I talked to him was because I needed to, but also because it was for myself, and it was because I'm friends with his ex, whose name is. So what I did was I came up with a solution, and this is where I feel like my growth kind of showed, in my opinion. Which is what I did was, you know how before I didn't know how to talk in terms of like problem solving.
Yeah.
Well, now what I did with them is I got them both on a call together, right?
To pick up where I left off before, right? So
Uh,
yeah, with my thing with that is like this, right? The thing you said earlier where like, Kai was surprised that like he was surprised this was you right now, and you think you came a long way and whatnot, right? This
I'm not saying from February. I'm saying I think I came a long way from how I was when I first met you.
from met me. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
because the
I didn't
thing is,
want to
I
confuse it. Yeah.
noticed this pattern. Like this is the kind of energy you gave me the first time you came back to the server in 2022. This is the same kind of energy. It's like there's this agenda with you. Like you really want to prove yourself and prove
Oh,
some point that I might
this
not
is
be aware of.
this is not what that's not what this is. I'm here because I want to. Because I don't know if I want to come back to the server yet. I don't think, or if I am at all. Like I don't think that's not gonna happen. One, even if it was and you were giving me that invitation, which I don't know, but even if you were, I'm not ready for that yet
Mhm.
because I still have a lot of work that I want to do on myself first because I don't want to just come in the server and blow shit up.
So the
Oh,
thing on that, so basically it's like this, right? And you say like how you thought in the past, like if I gave you a simple warning and said in a certain way, this is how it came off to you and whatnot. The thing is, it's like the thing a lot of people like have, whether they're however old you are now, however old you were in the past, they project what they went through with their families onto other people.
yeah,
So
that's a
when
pattern.
you
Yeah.
told me your story about that teacher, I actually agreed with not completely agree with how you handle it, but I understand why you handled it the way you did, because it seems from where you live, life, your environment seems drastically different from my environment. So who am I to tell you how to handle certain
Right,
situations?
and that's what I was
Right,
saying to you
you know,
earlier on text message. That's what I was saying. Everybody's been through something different in their
But
own
like,
individual lives.
the thing I was trying to hammer home with you, especially when we were on the call with Kai, was you're treating me like those people, even though I don't live anywhere near them. I don't even know those people. You're treating everyone like that, not specific people in your environment. It's like your brain classifies everyone as one thing. When there's gonna be certain people that are drastically different. And I was surprised that after everything I did for you over the years, your brain didn't differentiate me from those people before you reacted the way you did.
You know
And the
what it
thing,
is? You know what it is for real? It's not so much that my brain distinguishes you guys, it was one being. It's more so PTSD.
of course, but
The whole
you
thing.
don't say these things in the moment. You just argue with me and try to use logic. You try to mask it as logic. You
Well, no,
don't
but
just
but
right
the
tell
thing is, no, but the
it's
thing is,
PTSD.
I didn't know that that's what it. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know that that's what it was until I actually sat down and talked to my therapist about it. Like I didn't know, so that's
So
why I
you
didn't say
didn't
anything.
have any images in your mind or emotions that connected you to your childhood when you
No,
argue with.
no, I definitely did, but I didn't know that like that's what it was. Like I didn't know like listen, like my whole life, I thought that shit was normal to have that happen. So like, I wasn't aware that when that shit happens, that's like actual PTSD. I considered for the longest PTSD only happening with like war veterans.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't correlate the two. So I didn't know until when like later on, couple
The
months
thing
after,
is, it's like
like
this, right? We
like a
only
couple.
argue when you're having a terrible few days. These things aren't brought up to my attention when you're normal. It's been like this for years. That's why it's like whenever you come back and you say you changed, whether you think if this is different from the last time, I have yet to see that yet because like at the end of the day, your mind might change, your body might change, the heart might stay the same. So
Oh,
the
you
way
know what
you
it
feel about things may have not changed from when you were 5 and this, that, and
yeah,
the third. The heart, the
that makes sense.
spirit doesn't just change like that. That spirit doesn't
Yeah,
change so
yeah,
easily.
it's progress. That's why I said to you, even if like you wanted me to like come back and give me another chance, I wouldn't do it yet because I don't think now is the time. Like I still have a lot to work on, bro. Like I'm not saying that I haven't made progress because I really have, but I'm still far away from where I want to be.
Yeah.
Like
Um
I want to be like at a point where like I can function. Like so if that happens where like somebody does that to me, I'm not going to lose my shit. Instead, I'm just going to deal with it like a normal person because that's where I really want to get to. Like I want to be able to function normally and not have those PTSD flare-ups.
well, the thing about that is, and here's my opinion on it. Um I think the best way to handle it is to be hands on in the moment, avoiding it for God knows how long. This is my opinion. And I've always had this opinion forever now. I
What?
see it as
PTSD?
running away. Yeah. Well, no. Well, PTSD, that's okay. What I mean is, like, I don't want to lift this weight. It's too heavy. It makes my arms hurt. What am I going to do? Avoid it until I feel ready in the future? No, in my opinion, I don't care how much it hurts. I'm picking that dumbbell up and I'm lifting it, whether it hurts me or not. Maybe in the future, I'll get used to the pain to the point where I don't even feel it no more because I've gotten stronger. I don't like this
Oh, so you're
avoiding
saying that? So you're
strategy.
saying that?
Like you've
Wait,
all
you're
like this. If
wait.
you feel like you're about to lose your shit, you've been walking for years or trying other strategies that I wasn't told about in the moment. You've been very avoidant for years. You've been very avoidant. I just called it running away when I was younger. When I was younger dealing with you, right? I called it running away because I don't run from that. I don't avoid it. I deal with it on the spot. If I fuck up, I take what comes with it and hope I do better the next time or the next time.
Yeah, but here's the thing with that is that it's like different from just fucking up. PTSD is like I don't know if you again I don't know what you've been through, but I don't know if you really know too much about PTSD. But PTSD is not just your average like some mental disability or mental whatever. Like it's different. That shit fucks you up in the head. Like to give you an example, somebody could literally like it could be as simple as tapping your spoon on a sink. If you had something happen to you and somebody tapped their spoon on a sink or something like that, and you even hearing the noise, that shit's gonna trigger it, and you're gonna go into a panic. Or depending on what emotion comes out when the PTSD happens, because it could be anxiety, fear, anger, sadness, and it's intense. Like, so like you don't know what you're gonna get. So on top of it being extremely unpredictable and random, when it
Mhm.
happens, it's intense like you don't believe. Especially being bipolar, like that makes it even worse. So like it's not so much that I'm running away. It's more like I don't think I'm ready to just come back and do that stuff yet because I know that like things trigger me. Like I don't, and again, it's hard to explain it to somebody who doesn't have it. Like if you had have you ever had a panic attack before?
No. I don't think I had PTSD.
You told me you did. You
PTSD
told me that
before. I
you
will
told me
say
that.
this:
No, you
when
said
like
you had a
certain
panic attack
people,
once. You told me that you had a panic attack once when you thought that something happened to my phone because you couldn't talk to me. Remember
oh,
that?
that's probably the only time because yeah, that shit was crazy.
Wait,
But
okay, so now I want you to take that experience. That's PTSD, but 20, 30 times worse.
mhm.
Now
Yeah,
imagine
and
that times 20, 30 times worse. That's PTSD.
mhm.
You get dizzy. You feel like you're gonna faint or pass out.
Yeah,
Sometimes you get so angry that you black out for hours, and
okay.
then you come to and don't remember what the fuck happened. Or
And then this
sometimes
is where I went to say this, right?
or sometimes you get into such a deep depression that you don't eat, you don't drink, you don't sleep. And if you're bipolar, it's even worse because when you're manic and that happens, it's bad. Like
Mm,
people will kill other that are bipolar, kill niggas doing that, having that shit. So
yeah.
it's a big deal. I'm not making this shit up when I tell you this.
Mhm.
It's not like there's something that I could just simply turn off. It's
So,
always gonna be there. Some
so the main thing
people just
about
find
that is
ways to
this, right?
manage it.
So, like, I noticed a pattern with this, and something that I've been meaning to bring up, for like several minutes now. But have you ever considered like, for example, when
Hold
you
on, what?
brought up, huh?
Now. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I have to go eat
Yeah.
in like
So
10 minutes though.
this is what I was like meaning to bring up several minutes ago.
Uh-huh.
Like here's a pattern with it in how you feel you don't want to deal with certain things because of PTSD and whatnot. But when you tell me all these stories and all these things, have you ever told me what led up to the person or the aggressor in your stories talking to you that way? So when you follow a rule and you do everything you're supposed to, do I still talk to you like that? Do I still treat you like dog shit? Yes or no?
No,
No.
not really, no.
Yeah, you see, it's the same thing. Like, I'm not gonna
I mean, if
compare
you do, I mean,
everything
if
as
you
D by
do, if you do, you're probably just trolling. And you're not even being for real.
yeah, but I mean in moments where I'm dead ass, like
Oh
I'm
yeah,
really
nah, you
coming
don't.
at your
Yeah,
neck
no.
when you're doing everything right. When you're
Yeah,
doing
nah.
everything right, I leave you alone. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
you're
saying.
good. Yeah.
Like the thing about me, if I don't like how someone talks to me, right? I also have to remember what led up to them talking to me that way. If I don't see anything that led up to that, if there's literally nothing or almost nothing that led up to that, I'm gonna think they're bullying me. But after I realize I've been kind of fucking up a little bit or not following directions properly, I can see where they're coming from. It makes me want to better can manage my emotions in those situations.
Not trying to
Like
be off.
again, you're the only person in the
Wait,
server I had to warn over 100 times.
no, I'm
That's
not. Wait, hold up. I'm not trying to be off topic, but to hear you say that somebody's bullying,
huh?
to hear you say that somebody is bullying, just made me laugh because I think of all the countless times you just fucking roasted the shit out of people.
Oh yeah, yeah. You see, because that's me being like you see how certain and that's what I say earlier. Like I
It
don't
just makes
know if
me
I had a
what do you?
full fledged PTSD moment, but there are certain commonalities in how you explained it and what I went through. Like if you say certain things or certain people, certain outcasts say certain things, it reminds me of every outcast that said the same bullshit, every
Wait,
ex
there's
girlfriend, and
so
then
there.
end up cursing them out because it's like I'm talking to that outcast too. I'm
Okay,
talking to everybody.
wait. I could explain that for you. So though there's PTSD and then there's PTSD symptoms. What you probably have is the early stages of it.
Yeah, symptoms. Yeah,
There's
because
symptoms. You have PTSD symptoms, but you
yeah,
probably don't have it yet because you probably haven't experienced enough shit yet. But once you get there, like how I've gotten there, you will have it, and then it's like you're gonna want to get rid of it. You're gonna wish that like you could go back. Ow, fucking bitch! I just fucking hit my face against. How? Anyway, I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, so once you actually have it, you're just gonna wish that you didn't, and like you're gonna want to like go back to when you were like a kid and everything was fucking sunshine and rainbows.
Well, the thing with me, I've been having these symptoms since like my preteen years. Like if we're having a roast session, if like back in middle school, we had a roast session. Depending on what's said, if somebody says I'm fucking black, or like or like I have a fat ass head, or I'm ugly or some shit, PTSD symptoms, I snap on them and I end up saying the nastiest shit. Not immediately. It's like the thing with me, like I just act cool with it. I laugh or I shut the fuck up and things like that. But then after some point, they keep on telling me my head is big or I'm ugly or whatever the fuck they want to tell me. Or maybe I don't have much hair on my head. I don't know what it is, right? Depending on what it is, right? I'll shut the fuck up for a time and just take that shit. But then the more I shut the fuck up, the more they keep coming at me for that same shit. And I end up feeling the symptoms even more. And then one day I snap. I roast the absolute shit out of them. The whole class starts dying. Even the teacher starts dying of laughing. And it gets to a point where as I got older, the people I roasted when I was younger, if I snapped on them, they shut the fuck up. They're put in check. When I got older, that stopped happening. It turned to a fight. It turned to niggas starting to try to jump me or gang up on me, whether it's jump on fucking on an online app like you saw with Arte and them other motherfuckers. It turned to that. Or in real life, it turned to a big ass school fight where niggas are trying to jump me because I said the most craziest shit the other day out of pure rage because they started with me and they wouldn't shut the fuck up. Like, if they keep coming at me when I'm not talking, okay, I feel like a victim. I feel like I'm being bullied. So who's gonna come to my rescue? No one's gonna defend me. So I feel like defending my damn self. Because who's gonna say what I want to say? Nobody.
That's how I feel.
Exactly.
And then fucking RTG is Hampton.
Yeah, like literally with Arte, I was really respective. Like, respectable and whatnot. When I banned him, right, and let him back, we were in the middle of an event, and I had to ask him some questions for the event because for the event, I had to know these things. I could give you certain things for the event. He lied to my face. So I forgot what it was. It was something very small, very petty. It wasn't like serious. It wasn't like he's in trouble. It was more okay. For example, maybe I asked him, how many jokes did he say to the other participant? Because it was probably like a roast Olympics event. I don't know. Arte lied to my face because maybe he wanted to get extra points. I don't know.
Yeah. When you say that you were getting bullied, I just think about when you said to Jay Sir, "You fat bitch."
Exactly. The way Jay Sir treated me. I was trying to be cordial with him, but he took it as weakness. He thought my kindness was a weakness. No, I'm trying to be nice and respectful because that's mature. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm trying to act like it. And these niggas want to walk on me like that. So I had to show their ass. Like, I'm not your mom. I'm not your dad. I don't know who enabled that bullshit in your family, but I'm not your mama, nigga. I will call you a fat bitch to your face and shit on your waffles, bitch. So fuck off and suck my dick. That's what I would say. I don't give a fuck how they take it, because I was quiet. I was quiet for 30 minutes and they didn't leave me alone. That's bullying. So now I'm gonna kill it. Like, there's gonna be moments where you have to stand up for yourself against dicks, but a lot of moments you tell me about is like those moments, because I feel like my symptoms came from logical reasons. Like, yes, it's true. When you're really nice to people if you don't know how to stand up for yourself, they will bitch you. That's just how it is. A lot of people are toxic. When you try to handle toxic people in a mature way, it doesn't fucking work. Especially if you're living with them. You can't avoid people you're living with. Maybe if it's some random classmate, no, not even classmate, because y'all in the same class for like how many hours? No, if it was like a random stranger or a coworker, I don't know. You can be mature with them. You can avoid them, all the other shit. But if it's people that you really give a fuck about, yeah, I realized because I had no idea it was PTSD symptoms. Every time, like, there'll be moments where, like, if you see me just like do something you don't like after I warn you or some shit, that might have been PTSD symptoms too. Because whenever like I think I have to correct you on something for the 100th time, it does remind me of certain people like Hannah in my life, or that was in my life, certain people that I used to try to change and help out, like I'm doing with like I did with you back then. I was trying to change and help out. Other people did the same thing you did. I'd have to keep telling them for the 100th time, don't do this, don't do that. So I think sometimes if you see me act a little aggressive with you out of nowhere, if I did that, that might have been PTSD symptoms or some shit.
I'm not gonna lie, there would be times where I could just be simply talking normally, and you would be like, "Who are you talking to, nigga?" I'm like, "Nigga, I'm not even saying nothing."
Oh, for those moments, no, I definitely knew what I was doing there. Yeah, that.
No, I could just be talking like normal, like I just be talking how I always talk, and you just be like, "What the fuck? What you talking to?" I'm like, "What? What you talking about, nigga?"
So like, do you have any like examples of that or
if I said, um, like I'm trying to think of not like nothing specific, but just something like a generalized statement. That's really what it could be for real. Like if I said, I think the sky is blue. What do you think? But you think the sky, or like if you think the sky is red, and I say the sky is blue, you I think would take it and be like, that's like I was saying, like the sky is blue, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? Meanwhile, I'm just saying, oh yeah, I think the sky's blue.
I don't remember that. I do remember.
No, not that exact conversation, but
Yeah,
like
I know.
an example.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying that actually happened, but like I'm saying like it's an example of some shit like that would happen sometimes, and I was like, my bad if you took it that way, but I mean that's not how I meant it. Like, but
And
that's
then
what
like there's like a time.
that also comes back to when I just said before, like it's not what I say, it's how I say it sometimes.
And then literally there was a moment, I forgot to bring that up during our convo with Kai. I always forget that shit. It was in the end of our video. Like you were like, before I leave, this is the way I talk, and if you don't like how I talk, oh well. I felt PTSD symptoms from that too. That's probably what made me make the diss track in the first place. Not the whole convo. That ending mixed with everything Kai talked to me about, Kai and that girl. I forgot her name. Kai and that girl. After that, I followed them because they followed me first, like randomly out of nowhere. I don't remember what day. Maybe it was the same day. I don't know. They followed me. I followed them back. Right after I posted what I posted on my story that day, I followed them back, and then I had to tell them like, "Yo, this nigga Dante tripping or whatever." I don't know. Like, and then literally, so yeah, it was a mix of the shit you said in the end, and then all the other shit. Because he sounded. I don't think you were trying to come off that way, but he sounded very like inconsiderate. Because I was trying to warn you about that throughout the whole convo. If you got a problem, like you like just leave the server, like either leave the server and whatnot, or just like let me know what's up and then leave the server, or just leave the server. Period. I didn't ask, hey, if I don't like the way you talk, okay, oh well. That shit pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie, that shit did. I was trying to tell you that the whole convo. If you got a problem, like, and you really can't handle it, just leave the server. I was trying to tell you that the whole convo, but you were like, you didn't want to leave. That's why you're talking to me. That's mistake number one. Because I'm not saying don't communicate, but how you communicate matters. Like, that conversation started really poorly. It started from a simple warning that day. I just warned you for something little, and then it turned to you asking me for roles. When you asked me for the roles, I felt disrespected because I didn't give you that role in the first place on purpose. And then, yeah, because literally out of nowhere, when you asked for your role and whatnot, and I had to tell you why I didn't give it to you, like, it felt like you were trying to sound older than you were. That pissed me off. I remember that pissed me off. You were trying to sound different. Like, you were trying to sound like, I don't know, you're like my age. You were trying to sound mature. Like, it was an attempt at trying to sound mature. I think that's how I saw it. Like, it was an attempt to sound mature. Like, it was like I was obligated to give you roles in my server. That's how I saw. I'm like, what the fuck? Who this nigga? But when I said why I didn't give you roles, I said it very respectfully, but you took it the wrong way because like you thought you did nothing wrong and I had no reason to take away a role. So then I had to tell you what you did wrong and whatnot, and you didn't agree. That's also where I took disrespect because it's like that's what I was trying to hammer home with you in our debate, and then with the call with Kai months ago. Like, it doesn't really matter. No offense, it doesn't matter whether you agree or not, right? When you're in someone else's house, like just follow their rules. And if you think that, hey, this person is a dick or some other shit, then you have the option of just walking away, leaving, or you can have a nice talk with them, try to understand their perspective, maybe give them some constructive criticism, but it's there's certain civilized logical ways of going about it. The reason I came at you a certain way during our debate, because sure, you caught yourself, like you were talking a certain way at first through text, and you 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 caught yourself slipping. So when you were done with, I think you were in some kind of class, then you walked home to talk to me on the video, right? You still made a mistake, and even if you caught yourself, you still made the mistake. You still made the misstep. So when you make mistakes, you got to deal with what comes with that mistake. So the conversation started off on a bad foot. So I couldn't take it upon myself to really be 100% civilized with you. Things started off on the wrong foot, like, because it looked like you're questioning how I run things in my server. And I was trying to tell you that and whatnot. Then you brought up, like, but if you keep acting like this, no one's gonna join the server. And this is what I forgot to tell you in that debate, because it was just like, the thing is, when you talk a certain way sometimes, and not just you, a lot of people in the moment, I don't know what to say, or I say something else. But when I had time to think about it, I realized some things. I feel like, fuck, I should have said that shit in the moment. Like, damn. So what I realized was, why do you care who's in my server, who's not? If everybody leaves my server, that's them. I don't give a fuck. That's them. Like, it's just how they leave that I give a fuck about. If they just walk away, they're not obligated to tell me shit. I'm not mentoring them. They're just my server members. If they got a problem, they could get the fuck out. That's their thing. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to argue with me for hours over that. You know. And then another thing that really hurt in the debate, you were like, my members, they bend over backwards to make sure my feelings weren't hurt. I also took that as disrespect. It's like almost everything in the convo was, I took as disrespect. That part I took a lot. And I even, back in like February or late March, I even told my members about that. Like, I was asking, well, not asking, I was telling them, like, in the event channel or such, I don't even remember. I was like, he said about y'all bend over backwards to make sure my feelings weren't hurt. When I told them that, bro, they were like, they didn't know what the fuck you were talking about. They were even letting me know if they want to leave my server, they're going to do that. They was letting me know. They didn't know what the hell you were talking about. But like during the debate, you were like, it's obvious, bro. It's obvious. They bend over backwards for you. When I told them exactly that, that was their chance to criticize me. That was their chance. What am I gonna do? Hurt them on the internet? Punch them in the face? If they really felt that way, they would have told me straight up, like, I'm not gonna lie, Red. Like, I see what he's saying. I see what he's talking about. I know what he's saying. Nah, they didn't know what you were talking about. They didn't know what. Now, if you came at me and was honest, like, there's something going on, because, like, we usually have these fights and talks whenever you're going through something in your life, whether I know what it is or not. Whenever everything's chill, right? You put up with me a little better. It's only when you're really going through a hard time. Like, but how you communicate it is just all this stuff that appears to be logical. Things would have been way easier and shorter if you just told me, okay, there's a lot going on in your life. You're having panic attacks, etc. And I know you didn't realize you were going through PTSD, I think, at the time. I know that. But it's still on you, because if you are old enough to stand up to me like that, confront me like that, and leave my server like that, you're also old enough you should have been old enough to realize what you felt was PTSD. You should have realized that in time. That's something you gotta, take some accountability for and whatnot.
I did realize it, like, later on after I left. Like, I didn't know what it was until after.
Yeah, that was definitely like that's definitely a mistake. Like, you should have realized that way before, or at least before you left in the first place. Because it's like, if you really want to be an adult, right, and you do certain things, if certain things happen, people don't care if you didn't know any better. You definitely knew better to take the initiative and go against the grain and stand up to people. You gotta take what comes with it, even if you didn't know that was gonna happen. That's what it is. You gotta understand, when you say certain things, you're putting certain things out there into the universe, and people are hearing it. Their brains are processing the words you're telling them. So if you don't want certain people reacting a certain way, you really gotta watch what you're saying to people. You really gotta. They don't care if you don't mean it. They don't care. Maybe they might think you didn't mean it, or maybe they didn't think about that. I don't know. They don't care. They just care that they didn't like what you said or how you said it. After that, they don't care about reasoning. It's gonna turn to a fight. And there's plenty of times where during your stories, like, you are justified to stand up to certain. There are certain toxic ass dicks out there. You have no other choice. I had no other choice when I snapped on certain people, especially people my age, my classmates. Now, it was rare because you made it look like I snapped on, like it's like a normal thing. No, it was rare I snapped on even my classmates. It was rare. People normally left me the fuck alone because they know, like, I don't play that bullshit. They definitely know. Like, they definitely know better. But I'm saying, like, you've known me for like 6-7 years. Like, you need to understand, when I do, like, there's certain people in your life, they were justified to talk to you a certain way, because you got to understand what did it take to get to that point. Did you look at it from their perspective? Did you see what it led? Like, you got over 100 warnings. Most people, if they got 30 warnings, they're permanently banned from my server. I've given you so much leeway, so much of everything. There's moments in your life where you could have killed yourself, but people like me helped you avoid that. So when you talk to me a certain way, it makes you look ungrateful, or it makes you look like you forgot the things that were instilled upon you. That's why when I was telling you, don't forget where you came from, you took it like a certain way. Don't forget where you came from, you took it a certain way and whatnot. But the thing is, what I mean by that is, I did so much for you. I did so much for you. There's no reason to treat me like the dickheads in your life that didn't do shit for you. There's no reason for that and whatnot. That's why I had to make this track, because I didn't want to make that shit, but again, I'm blocked. That's the one thing I really hate. I hate when people block me. I hate that bullshit. It's so pussy to me. I can't even talk to you. Like, I can't even talk to somebody. How can I express how I feel to somebody about what they say? I can't even properly communicate with them. I had to make a diss track and follow Kai to have you talk to me. If I didn't do that, you and Alyssa would have kept me blocked. All y'all would have left me alone, kept me blocked. All this emotion just tucked in my body. I couldn't communicate to shit. Like, literally, oh my God, it was so bad. That was the crazy part too. It was just like, and then when I posted on my story and you replied to it, you was just like, whatchamacall, if you say any, oh yeah, that's the last part. Like, you were telling me I can make the videos about you. You don't give a shit, right? But if I say anything personal, something, you're gonna do the same thing to me. Do I make myself clear? I'm like, what the fuck? And then on top of that, weeks later, I follow your, I follow the agreement, and you still proceed to post what you posted on TikTok. That hurt, because not that I cared what was actually on that TikTok. It was just about principle. It was about principle. Like, you gave me a deal. You didn't specify I can't make 4 to 5 videos about you, and I didn't make 4 to 5 instantly. Those videos I tagged you in, they were from years ago. They were public, but I made them private at some point because we was cool. But when we weren't cool, I made those videos public again. And you saw those videos when they came out years ago, but we weren't talking at that time, so he didn't really, respond to them. I just tagged you again because I didn't want to make whole new videos like over and over and whatnot. The only thing new was the debate and the diss track. That's it. And literally, like, you could have let me know. Don't make no diss track. Don't make 4 to 5 videos. No, you didn't realize how it would affect you, so you didn't let me know. But that's on you. You tried to be an adult and give me these boundaries. I was following those boundaries like an adult would if they agreed with them, and things didn't go the way you thought it would. Instead of you taking accountability for that, you posted that thing on TikTok about me. And then you're talking about me to Kai and your mom and shit like that. That's not cool. That's not cool. Because, like, you realize you were like this 3 years ago. You're older than that now. Why are you acting like how you acted at, what, 13, 14? I don't even know. Like, it felt like an insult. It felt like, did you grow within these last 3 to 4 years, or did you stay stagnant? It felt like this is the Dante I dealt with in 2022, 2021. It's like, what
When
is
I get
this?
mad that comes out. It's only when I
I
get
know,
like
because
really mad.
that's the real Dante. That's why. That's the real Dante. Like, that's the real you. It's just, it's in the back of your mind, and you train yourself to not unleash it. But when you're mad, it's like you say things as if they're fact, but you wouldn't say these things when you're calm. If it's fact, you would say it regardless of how you feel. If it's an actual fact, you would say it regardless, you know? And then, like, like you even brought up things about how I warned you and whatnot for no reason back then and whatnot. And then I told you, this is another thing I forgot to tell you during the debate and our convo with Kai, because I had let you know in the video I was trolling. Like, some of my warnings for you are trolling. If they were real, you would be out the server by now and whatnot. But you were like, but do I see where you're coming from and whatnot? But the thing is, like, it's a roasting server. We troll all the time. It's a roasting server.
But you don't remove the warnings.
Yeah, because if I remove one warning, all the warnings go. And it's a troll warning. What's wrong with keeping the warnings on there? I'm not going to use those fake warnings against you. If I did, you'd be banned by now. Because it's common sense. Who has 100 warnings? If anyone has that, if anyone put you at 100 warnings, they would never touch my server again in their life. I don't care how much they change. I don't care how much they change. I've given you so much leeway because of your conditions. You have ADHD, you're bipolar, and you have fucked up family issues, but you did so much good shit for me over the years. I've given you so much leeway. If Wheezy had 100 warnings, I would make that nigga's forehead 3 times bigger than what it is right now. You know? Like, what the fuck? Like, nah, like, it's trolling. Like, it's a roasting server. You roasted Tyler for hours, and y'all still boys. Y'all was still boys. So I can't give you a little warning for fun. I even gave Chloe fun warnings. I even showed you my warnings in the debate. You was like, but you're the owner of the server.
You gotta admit, that shit does not apply to you.
Yeah, but you're the same one that says, like, treat me how you would like to be treated. You're not a king. You're not a god. If I'm not a king or a god, then the warnings apply to me too. Because I'm a regular member, right? If I'm not a king or a god, then the warnings don't apply to me.
Yeah, but you can't kick yourself out the server.
Yeah, but I could delete my server if I felt like it. I could delete my account. I could transfer my ownership if I felt like it. You know? Yeah, like literally, I could do all that other shit. But that's what I'm saying. It's this. That's how you know it's illogical. Illogical points have contradictions. If you see contradictions in your point where 1 + 1 = 3, it's not logical. Because on one hand, you can't say treat me how you would like to be treated, and then the other hand, my warnings don't apply to me because I'm the owner of the server. So which one is it? If I treat you how I want to be treated, you'd be an owner too. But a Discord server can't have 2 owners. That's impossible. That's literally impossible too. There's 2 owners. It's only 1 owner per server, unfortunately. You know, the thing about me, and just because I'm the owner, I have all this power. I also have a lot of responsibility too. Again, that's what comes with adulthood. Yes, you own shit. You own your own property. You bought your own shit. You have your own house. You have your own car. But now you got to pay bills. Now, if something happens at your house, the police are going to look at you because it's your house. It's in your name. Or if you rent an apartment, you're the tenant. So what people do in your apartment, the landlord is going to look at you because you're the tenant. You're the one paying rent every month. It's in your name. So I have all this power and freedom, but I also have responsibilities that regular members like you don't have. And you probably wouldn't even want to have the responsibilities I have, if you fully understand what they were. That's just a little glimpse into my responsibilities as a YouTuber / owner. Like, I have all the responsibility. That's why you see me constantly having to monitor how people act in the server, because it all comes back to me. It all comes back. That's literally what happened with Hannah, like, years ago. Like, because of Chloe and how, they were interacting, Hannah ran to me talking about, do something about this bitch. They got nothing to do with, but I'm the owner of the server. So of course she gonna hit me about some bullshit. Like, if you went through what I went through with that bitch, you would want to kill that bitch, because you're very intolerant. You don't tolerate no one's bullshit. So you definitely wouldn't tolerate Hannah's bullshit. Now imagine you're a Discord owner, a server owner with that level of tolerance. You're gonna snap at everyone, maybe even worse than me. Imagine like how, what you went through with that teacher you brought up. Imagine if you were a teacher and the student, or you were a teacher arguing against that other teacher, and your boss knows about that.
the boss, the principal, gonna fire somebody. Somebody getting fired. That's what I'm saying. You know, like that teacher has more power than you, but he also has more responsibilities. He's managing a class full of 30 students, 30 kids. If anything happens to one of those, even one of those kids, the principal gonna look at the teacher. They're gonna be like, "What's wrong? What happened?" And like, you know, depending on what the teacher says, okay, that teacher might get fired or their paycheck might get cut. I don't know. You know, it's always my responsibilities. So that's what it is. That's why I do the things I do, because it's like it's complex shit. You know, I got a system. I've managed servers, and I know, like, literally, I know how to deal with certain people and whatnot. You know, I got my problems, and look, you know, I'm not perfect neither. I'm still working on certain things by myself as I get older and whatnot. I get it. But the thing is, don't now look. This is a frame of reference. I know you're going around apologizing to old friends you probably cut off. Just know this, whether you know it or not. Just know this: you apologizing is not going to erase all this shit you did in the past. Okay, they're still gonna remember it. They're still gonna look at you a certain way, whether they fuck with you again or not. Even Kai, they're still gonna look at you a certain way. Just because you might have gotten a little older, a little more mature, you apologize. I already knew you was gonna apologize. That's why I didn't do certain things I could have done, because that's stupid. That's who wants to do that. I already knew this was gonna happen. You're getting older, you're growing up a little more. I get it, but you're also doing things the average person your age shouldn't know how to do or do. So this is what adulthood is like. If you go to prison, it's gonna be harder to find a job. It's gonna be harder to get certain positions in life. If you fail a grade or if you got a bad record, your credit score is shit, it's gonna come back to haunt you one way or the other. Doesn't matter how sorry you are. You made the mistake, you gotta live with it. You know, that don't mean I hate you. I know you're gonna leave the server, try to work on yourself some more. I have my questions, you know, disagreements about that. But hey, man, you do you. If this is what you think is good, okay, that's cool. That's cool. I get it. You know, I get it. You know, but I'm just saying, with me, I learned how to take shit to the chin. If I fucked up, I know how to take it to the chin and just take that shit. PTSD symptoms or not. If I can't handle taking it to the chin, I don't make the mistake in the first place because I'm scared. I'm scared I'm gonna get fucked. So I know better. That's why, like, parents, they be whooping their kids' ass. Nigga, I don't want to get my ass whooped by a belt, nigga. That's why I follow the fucking directions, man. I can't take that shit. It's too painful. So I do my best to avoid it by following the rules, being an upstanding person. Boom, bam, boom. You know, it is what it is. I can't take it, so I avoid it. I don't walk away from the belt. No, if I get my ass whooped by a belt, I gotta take it. I gotta lay there, you know. I just try to avoid being put in that situation entirely by following directions. Even if I don't like the way certain people talk to me, I take that shit. Why? How I feel when people talk to me is nothing compared to what happens when I retaliate. Because then I create situations for myself I wish I could have avoided or prevented. Because now I regret opening my mouth. I regret doing certain things. I regret fucking up. Because now I got to deal with 10 niggas on my ass every day I go on the bus. I got to deal with 10 dickheads. I shouldn't have said certain things. Now I got to deal with 10 dickheads looking at me on the bus every fucking day or some other shit. You know, that's just what it is. Yeah, I think that's all I had to say for now, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, that should. I did not expect to have this convo this soon. I thought, literally, I thought he was gonna come back like motherfucking late 2025 or early 2026. I thought it was gonna be like, damn, I didn't think you'd have it this soon. I came all unprepared and shit. Like, Jesus. Oh man. Oh, Lee. Okay. So yeah, that was a nice talk. I gotta go. Play with my friend in this game. But yeah, if you have any questions or anything, let me know. For now, I gotta make you newcomer for when you have to leave. But if you want to talk some more, let me know, and then I'll give you a member.
bet.
If you want to leave, that's cool.
I bet.